Welcome back to the cottage, everybody. Today I want to share with you our girls' bedroom tour. And this room is nowhere near complete, but as I mentioned in previous video, this year is all about progress over perfection. And so I want to share with you what we have done with the girls' room so far, and in the future I'll show you any updates that we might make. The girls' bedroom is a fairly simple space. It has high vaulted ceilings that have pine boards which have been painted white. And this just gives the room a natural, airy feel to it. It gets great natural daylight, as do most of the rooms in our home, and it's just a spacious room for our two girls. Our girls are currently ages 7 and 10, and they love sharing a bedroom together. Probably one of the most notable features in the girls' bedroom are their antique metal beds. And these are beds that my husband painstakingly refinished. He has done a series of videos about them, and I will link those videos here. And these beds were stored in a barn of one of my friends for many, many years, and they were just completely brought back to life by my husband, and the girls are absolutely in love with them. If you remember from my previous video when we lived in the farmhouse of the girls' bedroom tour there, they had small beds that were toddler size that were made from an old crib. And so moving up to these twin beds was a huge upgrade for them, and they absolutely feel like princesses when they sleep there. The bedding is kept quite simple, just white covers, and I do plan to eventually get some nice matching quilts for the ends of the beds, but for now the quilts that they have there, they love. There's special blankets to them, and the bedding is just natural, comfortable, and pretty maintenance free, so it works great in a young girl's bedroom. The small table between their beds is useful. We have a lamp there that we can turn on at night, and they can lay in their beds reading a book until we tell them to go to sleep, and they just enjoy having this little shared space between their two beds. When I was designing this space, I kept in mind the needs of my girls right now and also what they may be interested in the future. And so while it works great now for them to have their beds on one side of the room and they are closer together at bedtime, they have a play space on the other side of the room. I know that in the future, possibly when they're teenagers, they may appreciate having more of their own privacy and their own separate spaces. And so the room is sort of divided visually in half. The dimensions are worked out perfectly so that they each can have a twin-sized bed on either side of the room and their own little nightstand. And they also have two closets in here. They could put their clothes in one closet or the other when they're older. Right now they do share a closet, and then the boys have their clothes in the other closet, and that's a story for another day. But it is set up so that when they're growing, they can kind of have that more personalized space within a shared bedroom. The other side of the bedroom features their play area, and right now it's sort of set up like a pseudo house. It has a little play kitchen, a table with chairs, and then a doll crib. And they love to play house. They get all of their food and everything out and make little tea parties for their stuffed animals, and they really enjoy that. I have noticed they haven't been playing with those type of things quite as often as they used to, and so this is one area I see possibly transitioning in the somewhat near future. Perhaps some shelving along that wall with bins for art supplies and things like that, because they are getting into crafting projects. And so again, that goes along with the evolution of the room. It's flexible space for them to grow into. The kitchen that they have in there right now is something that I worked on for them when they were a couple years younger. It is made out of an old dresser of their grandfather's, and it just kind of holds that special meaning. And while it will be sad for me to put it into storage, I will be happy to see it again when we do have grandchildren. So the time was not lost in making it. The little crib is something that was made by the girls' great grandpa, and it was actually made for his daughters, and so their grandma played with it when she was a little girl, and that's really special and really neat. And again, it's one of those pieces that we will store and bring out again for grandkids once our girls are finished with using it. You may recognize the little red table from the Christmas decorating video that I did, and we did just recently get a different larger table for puzzling, and I mentioned that in my last video, antique haul. And so I see the two tables kind of rotating out depending on the time of year and what I want to do decoration wise. For now, the little red table is upstairs in the girls' room and the white table is downstairs, but we could flip it up depending on what the season is and what we are planning on doing. The girls also have a large dollhouse up here that they have used for their My Little Pony figurines. They like to make up all sorts of adventures for their ponies, and they can be entertained for hours with them. The dresser is one that was mine when I was a little girl. My grandparents bought it for me, and it's just held up super well. It's the perfect size. Each girl has 2 drawers for their clothing, 1 drawer for shirts and 1 drawer for bottoms. And on top of the dresser, I have a small sign that was painted. I think I bought it on Etsy. If I can find the link, I'll link it below. And they also have a small jewelry box there with special mementos, and the small pink bunny was given to my oldest daughter from her orphanage in China before we adopted her. And so just some special memories kind of sprinkled throughout. There are some other art pieces I'm planning on adding to the room eventually. Haven't gotten around to it yet, but again, it's evolving, things are going to change, and so stay tuned for all of that. I hope you enjoyed this tour of the girls' bedroom, and I hope you'll stick around to see the different touches that we add and the way that the room changes through the years as the girls grow. Thanks for stopping by the cottage, and I hope to see you again really soon.